welcome back to my channel. My name is Havana and today I'm coming at you with a story time. This is going to be my first on my channel, so I'm super excited. I've gotten a lot of questions regarding how I got into stripping and how I chose my dancer name. So I thought this would be the perfect time, since it is snowing in Oregon today, to sit down and film this for you guys. So if you're interested in hearing how my journey started, then keep on watching. So it all started when I turned 21. I was in cosmetology school full-time, and then I was working at Papa Murphy's, which is a pizza place, part-time. So I would get up in the mornings and hop on the bus. It took me an hour to get to school. And you guys, it was so bad because I would constantly fall asleep on the way home. Like, oh my God, it was so embarrassing. But for some reason, I could not keep my eyes open. And I would literally, like, have people tapping my shoulder because I would, like, fall asleep and just be, like sleeping on them. But anyways, yeah, I would get up in the mornings. I would hop on the bus, hour ride to school, and then when I was done with school, another hour bus ride to Papa Murphy's. From there, I would work about 3 hours, 3.5 hours on the weekend, because they closed at like 9:30, I think it was 9:30, and then 10 o'clock on the weekends. So yeah, all I could fit in was 3 to 3.5 hours. Yeah, and then after that, I had to take 2 buses home. So yeah, that was kind of like where I was in my life. I tried to pick up more hours because I was struggling financially. But the thing was that with the time school started and ended, and then I didn't have a car, I couldn't really fit in more time besides adding more days. And they had to distribute the hours evenly amongst all the coworkers. And then also I didn't want to burn myself out, because it was just really like a lot for me to like be up super early to catch the bus, and then all that extra time that it took for me just to get home after work and school. So yeah, that's kind of where my financial issue started for me. So fast forward, I'm in school full time. I'm trying to pick up all these extra shifts at Papa Murphy's. And one day I'm on social media and I happen to see an old coworker that used to work at Papa Murphy's who started dancing. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I've always been kind of curious about it. And I had just turned 21 and I still had not been to a strip club. I don't even know if I honestly had been to a bar and had a drink yet. But anyways, I sent her a message over Facebook and I was like, hey girl, how you been? I'm thinking about stripping, but don't really know how to go about it. Do you think you could help me? She replied and was like, oh my God, hey, I'm good. I would love to help you. All you need is an outfit, some shoes. Look up a couple like dance moves on YouTube, and then look up the club that you want to work at. Once you find the club that you want to work at, just give them a call and ask them when auditions are, and then you just go in and audition. And then she proceeded to let me know that if I wanted to audition at her club, that she would be more than happy to come with me the day of my audition to her club. And I was like, oh my God, that is so nice. I appreciate it. So I did that. I called the club, and I think they told me that their audition was on Thursday, that I could come in on Thursday, either Wednesday or Thursday. So I went out, bought my outfits, bought some shoes, and I looked up some videos on YouTube. And then fast forward to, let's say, Thursday or Wednesday, whenever the day was that I was supposed to audition, I started messaging her on Facebook like, hey girl, like, you ready to meet up? Like, I'm super excited. And she left me on red. You guys. And then oh, I actually forgot to mention that I messaged her the day before too, like just to make sure, like, hey, are we on? I remember I had messaged her several times, and all the times that I reached out to her, she left me on red. I was like super confused. I was like, maybe she's like super, like super busy. So then I can't remember exactly, but I think I had sent her one last message, like saying like, hey, like, I'd appreciate it, like, if you would at least let me know what's going on. Like, you told me you were gonna help me, and then, like, you're just, like, ghosting me. Like, what's going on? This girl that I thought I was, like, cool with completely went off on me. She was just, like, calling me, the B word and telling me that I wasn't gonna mess with her money. She told me that she felt that I was never that good of a friend to her. Mind you that we were just co-workers. I always considered her a friend. Like, I just never hung out with her outside of work. And it wasn't anything personal or anything, but it now I understand, which I'm going to get to that part. But anyways, she just went off on me, and I just kind of went off as well, like telling her, like, you know what, like, I don't need your help, like, I'll figure this out all on my own. Like, if you had a problem with it, you could have just said that. You could have just not responded to begin with. Don't act like you want to help and like you're cool with it and then like lash out like all crazy. So anyways, so it ended really bad. Like we were cussing at each other. She even threatened me that I better not ever see her like in the, like in some club or whatever, which is fine, because just so you guys know, I was not scared of her. But yeah, I was honestly taken back. Like, I was shocked because I thought we were cool, and I'm a person that just because I don't hang out side of like work or like school with you, that doesn't mean that I don't consider you a friend, and that doesn't mean I've been nothing but a good person to you. And that doesn't mean that she needed to help me, but I mean, she's entitled to feel the way she feels. I will never take that from her, but it's like, just don't be like super fake nice and then be like all crazy. Like, you're the one who said that you were down to help me. So yeah. So now I'm like, what do I do? Like, I'm scared. I don't have anybody, to like guide me. I wasted all my money on these outfits because, you guys, if you go to an actual like dancer store, the outfits are pretty pricey. Even though it's not like a lot of cloth or whatever, they're pretty pricey. And especially the shoes. I had at least spent like $300, $400 on like 2 outfits and like 2 pairs of shoes. So anyways, I was like, what the heck am I gonna do? Like, and then I also was like, oh, I'm gonna show her, like, I don't need nobody. Like, I will do this shit on my own. And so, one day I'm in school, and me and my bestie at the time, Esperanza, I love her so much, shout out to her, we passed by a club downtown because we went to school downtown, so there's like a lot of strip clubs here downtown. So we walked by one, and I was like, oh my god, I was like, would you want to go in there with me? Like, I've always been curious. And she kind of knew like what had kind of happened, and that like I was thinking about it. And of course, she was a really good friend, and she's like, yeah girl, I'll go in there with you, like, let's go check it out. And we walked in there, you guys, and this was like during the day, so this was around like noon, and it was just like super surprising for me because I was just like, wow, like, these are normal looking women. I don't know why, like, maybe because of like the only like strip club scenarios I've ever seen was like glamorized on TV, and like YouTube videos, where I'm sure there are clubs like this, I just like was more humbled more than anything. I was like, wow, like, these are all normal, beautiful women. Like, they're real women. That's all I can say. They were real women. Like, it wasn't like, I don't know, I guess like I just thought they were gonna be like look completely different than me. I guess I don't want to say the wrong word, but I maybe thought that they were gonna be just like I was gonna be super envious of them, and I don't even know how to find the right words besides they were real women, and I was like shocked. So yeah, we're walking around the strip club, we're talking to the dancers who were super friendly, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like this is so cool. Like they're normal people just like me, and the vibe was super cool, the music, the lights, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. So anyways, we leave, we go back to school, and I tell Esperanza like, hey, I want to audition. Will you come with me? And just like, you know, sit back while I audition. And she was like, of course. So I ended up calling the club. And I just asked like, hey, like, can I come in for an audition? They're like, yeah, sure. Come in tomorrow, around noon or whatever. So I did just that during my lunch. Me and Esperanza walked our happy asses over there. It's so crazy to think, man. Yeah, we walked over there. I met the manager, or the boss man, whatever. And I got up there and I danced for Esperanza. I didn't look at anybody else. I just looked at her. And me and her were just like giggling. And like, I was like, oh, what do I do now? And I'm like, wow, you know, just like swinging on the pole. And it was honestly like such a good time. Like she was so supportive. And it kind of makes me emotional, honestly, because it's just like crazy, like how far I've come. And it's crazy because even though me and her, we are in different parts of our life, it's like we still every once in a while talk, and she has a special place in my heart because she was a really good friend to me while I was in school. Sorry guys. But anyways, yeah, so I auditioned and I got hired, and that is where my journey started. Ooh. Yeah, so I signed the paperwork, and I basically just got a schedule just like you would at any regular job. They ask you what days you want to work, your shifts, and you get started. So while I'm filling out the paperwork, the hire paperwork, right? One of the questions is like, what is your performer name? So you sign it with your legal birth name, and then you also have to sign it with your performer name, your stage name. And this is so crazy, you guys, but the name I chose was, if anybody's ever watched Bad Girls Club, if you haven't, it's just a bunch of random girls around the world that they put in a house, and like there's always drama, they fight, they drink, they party. It's like a really crazy show, and I don't think I think they canceled the show or whatever, it stopped airing, whatever. But there was one season, I can't remember what it was, but there was a girl on there who I think she like did some modeling, but anyways, she was really tall and skinny, and I had always been super skinny, not necessarily tall, but sort of. I was like 5'3", 5'3", now I'm like 5'5". But I always felt like I was like just like this like skinny, like lean bean, right? Just like the girl off BGC, the one I'm about to tell you guys who her name is. But anyways, I don't know why, but I really liked her name. Which later on I ended up changing because nobody was really fond of it. They were super confused why I called myself this. But basically the name I chose was Slim. Yes, you guys, Slim, like slim, thick. I don't know why. I just thought that name was so cute. Like I remember when she introduced herself on BGC, I was like, oh my god, that's so cute. It fits her. And it kind of sounds like strong, like slim. I don't know. That's just my interpretation of it, and I liked it. So yeah, I was Slim for a while. but I kept getting jokes like Slim Jim, like Slim, like nobody could understand me most of the time. They were like, huh, interesting. Yeah, and then I took a break from dancing for a little bit, and once I went back, I kind of was like, I don't know, I'm not really feeling slim anymore. I don't feel like it's me. And mind you, it's because I had gained weight. I finally had boobs and a butt and all that stuff. And I was just like, I don't know. I just didn't like it anymore. So I was like, okay, what should I rename myself? And I wanted to make sure that this time it was a name that was going to stay, because this was going to be a persona I was going to create for myself. So I had dyed my hair red, which you guys, right now I'm letting it fade because I'm going to try to go pink this summer. But usually I have really bright red hair. But yeah, I was like, okay, what's a name that is true to who I am and that I won't want to change again, because I didn't want to be that girl with like, she has a different name in every club. And like, also that's the other thing too, like you can't have two girls with the same name in a club. So like, I didn't want anybody to ever have my name and I have to change it. Like, it was just like, okay. So anyways, fast forward, I have red hair. So I was like, ooh, I should do Ruby. So that was my first one. I was like, I totally see Ruby being like universal sexy. But I was like, oh, I know that there's going to be other girls with Ruby. And they're going to be girls that don't even have red hair. So I was like, I kept thinking. And then, I don't know, just Havana clicked. Because I'm Cuban, I take a lot of pride in my culture. And my parents were born in Havana, Cuba. So I was like, Havana. And I was like, oh my God, I like that. And I have been Havana ever since. I love that name. I love that it just represents me. And to me, it represents a strong version of myself, a sexier version of myself, an independent version of myself. And the only thing that I don't like about it is that when I'm in the club and people ask me like, oh, what's your name? And I say Havana. Sometimes people think I say Savannah, or they think I say Hannah. But I'll tell them, no, like the city in Cuba. And most of the time they're like, oh, wow, you're Cuban. And it's a great conversation starter. So yeah, that is how I got my name. So basically, everybody in my city knows me as Havana, unless you knew me like back in middle school, high school. Basically, before I was 21 years old, I go by Havana unless I'm applying for like I'm going to refer to it as a day job. Everybody knows me by like my legal birth name, government name. Otherwise, I usually tell people my name is Havana just because, I don't know. It's like something that makes me feel comfortable with like my identity, because I feel like the world we live in is such a dangerous, fake, place nowadays. I know that's kind of sad to say, but yeah, I'm not like, I love my real name, but like, I don't know, I kind of like even all my dancer friends, they know my real name and they still refer to me as Havana, and vice versa. I refer to them by their dancer name, and it's because that's, I don't know, it's almost like that is part of who they are, regardless if they continue to do it or not. I think to be a dancer, you guys, it takes a lot of heart and a lot of mental strength, and people who have never experienced it can't relate. So yeah, alrighty guys, I think that's it for today's video. If you would like to keep up with me and my life, then please go ahead, like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!